Today was the last day on the job for that gentleman right there. That is the now former chief of police in Fort Worth. I sat down with Neil Noakes just a few days ago to talk about his best days on the job, but also some of the worst during his last 4.5 years as the chief of the department that he joined as a rookie 25 years ago.
I'm happy to say that I'm not leaving because the department is a bad department or the city is a bad city. There is no better department to work for in the country.
And Noakes is leaving on a high note for sure. Homicides have fallen 3 years in a row. Aggravated assaults and burglaries, they're down. So why leave?
For me, I really looked at my situation with my family at home. And I told you I've got a grandson down, a granddaughter on the way. I really want to focus on my family.
Noakes says his success during his 4 years plus as chief is partly due to a flexible crime plan that allowed officers to adapt and respond to trends in real time.
We had people from all levels, from patrol, all of our specialized units, that were completely invested in the mission of bringing violent crime down in the city of Fort Worth. We got great support from our city leaders with budgets that would allow us to have the training, the equipment, the people that we needed to get the job done. We get support from our community, people who are willing to share information with us, tell us where the problems are, ask for our help. They trust us enough to bring us into their neighborhoods to take care of their problems for them.
For all the good, Noakes' tenure has not been without problems. 2023, a high-speed police chase through a residential area ends in the death of an innocent driver.
I'm so sorry it happened. That's not the way we want any interaction we have with anyone in the community to end. Anytime a life is lost, it's absolutely tragic. That shouldn't have happened.
Nearly 2 years later, the details of the chase are still a secret, and Noakes has refused to release the department's rules on vehicle pursuits, even after the state attorney general ruled that it is public information. Why don't you want to release the chase policy?
We released most of the policy. There are some tactics that we use in pursuits that we don't want our criminals to know about. We don't want to broadcast information that could compromise the efforts of these officers, put them in danger, put citizens in danger, because maybe the criminals know our policy so well and don't think that they wouldn't look.
While the next chief will have to deal with the department's fight with the state over the release of the chase policy, something the new chief will also inherit is a rank and file that knows the impact of the job on their hearts and minds matters.
One of the things I'll say we're very proud of is the new, very intentional and very compassionate focus we have on officer wellness.
Under his leadership, the department has a new wellness unit that is focused on taking care of officers and their families. And then there is also the Respond, Restore, Resolve initiative. That's a program focused on all first responders' well-being.
Here's how we dealt with mental health when I started. Suck it up. There's more calls, get back out there and do your job. That's not acceptable. That is so tragic that we ever, as a profession, looked at mental health that way. There are things that officers see that no human being should ever have to witness. And the problem is they see it over and over and over again. What we're doing with R3 is some amazing resiliency training, and it's non-clinical in nature, meaning we don't wait until they're broken and then try to fix them.
It's just one way Noakes hopes that he is leaving this department and the city a little better than he found it.
I hope they see me as somebody who really cared, not just about the city and the department, but the people in the city and the people in the department. Somebody who made mistakes but tried his best. I've always tried to encourage people to be humble, to be servant leaders. And if any of those words are thrown out at any point years from now, I'll be happy with that.
I've been fortunate to interview quite a few chiefs over the years on the exit and take those last words that Noakes said to heart. Not focused on his legacy, really. Would like people to think he did good things, of course, but more focused on his grandkids, family life. Executive Assistant Chief, by the way, Robert Aldridge has been tapped. That happened last week. He'll be the interim chief for now. The city is currently conducting a nationwide search in hopes of naming a new chief. Amelia, they're thinking hopefully by August. They'll talk to a lot of names. They'll bring them in. And the interim hopefully gets a nod as well in terms of consideration. But Noakes leaves in fairly good standing, and you just hope the department can continue with the good things that they've done already.
And I hope that his replacement has the same air of just care that Chief Noakes had, because every time I interacted with him in the field, he just cared about his men so much and cared about the people in the community.
Well, and it's one thing. It's one thing to care about us in the news world, but it's about the community, and it's also about the rank and file. That's where the care really has to come into play.
Absolutely. Yeah. He has the next person has big shoes to fill, for sure.